Queen Latifah, welcome to Deadline's Red Sea Film Festival studio. What a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Where to start? Because you've got such a body of work, and it spans acting, producing, performing. There are so many. You flex so many muscles. Which are the ones now here in 2025 that kind of really that you're passionate about, that you're driven to kind of really push forward still?
I'm still pretty passionate about flexing all of my muscles. Number one, I'm very thankful to be moving, to be enjoying what I do, everything that I do. I think every project I step into, whether it's as an actor, a singer, a producer, business wise, they're all fun. They're challenging. They're all challenging, but they're all fun. And so, really, at this point, I only want to be doing things that I enjoy and supporting other people. That's always been a good time as well.
And we're here at a film festival, and I was just refreshing my memory. I was looking at IMDb earlier, and there's a lot there. There's a lot of great stuff there as well. But what were the moments, thinking just about the film piece, that really either moved the dial or that meant the most to you? Now you look back and reflect. So not the ones that necessarily did the best box office, not necessarily awards, but the ones that for you still have a real place in your. I'm sure they all have a place in your heart, but that perhaps you consider really special and important.
I guess the first one would have to be Jungle Fever. Spike Lee put me in a movie, and that was the first chance I had to be in a film. I had already been a rapper. I know what it was like to be on sets making videos, but to actually be on a movie set making a film as an actor, I had no idea what I was doing. But luckily he wanted a female rapper to play that role. That was sort of one very important, and it was a very clutch scene. Something pretty memorable in the movie.
What do you learn on a Spike Lee set?
Hit your mark. Be where you need to be. I learned to hurry up and wait. That's one thing you learn about movies. It's gonna take a long time to get a small scene or something that you see in a film that takes no time, really takes all day to shoot. You really learn the difference in time, what time is like on a set, and how many people it takes to make one thing work. So teamwork is really big, and luckily I played team sports, so I knew how to work as a team, how to win as a team too. Being on people don't know probably, but a championship basketball team in high school, you learn to work together to become champs. And so everybody has to play their role. So this was another way to transpose that part of my life onto a new thing, which is what I was able to do with film, and realize how every person's part is so important. Somebody has to reset this straw every single take, every time. I was like, this is wild.
So the interesting thing about that analogy of it being a team kind of working at a high level, is that you've also, within that team, you've been the person in front of camera, but you've also done a ton of producing and execing as well. Is that something that you enjoy in a different way, kind of helping pull these things together, make them work, make them real?
I do enjoy that. I've enjoyed that as a manager as well. Opening up my company, open up Flavor Unit with my partner Shakim and my mom and just our Flavor Unit crew, helping artists become successful. Like managing Naughty by Nature and seeing them go from my boys in the neighborhood, my guys from around the way, to platinum artists. You feel that. You feel that, knowing you're a part of that success. Taking Tretch on the road with me and letting him see what it's like out there, and letting him just see every element and test it all out. Watching Digital Underground do the same thing with Tupac. As their roadie, who now becomes their main rappers, who makes up the Humpty Dance and all this kind of stuff that a lot of people didn't get to see. But watching that happen and see their success, you feel like you feel like you've lived beyond yourself. It's more than just being about your success. You've now extended it to others. So, as they say, it's not ain't no fun if the I can't maybe use that phrase, but it's always fun when your friends can join you, can have fun with you.
But okay, so let's turn that around now. Then talk about your life, because there was talk of a biopic with Westbrook. Is this happening? Because it feels like there's a hell of a story there to be told.
Yeah, we've all kind of partnered up to work on Westbrook and Jesse Collins Entertainment. We all work together, so we figured we would create these. We tell our stories. So I'm going to be one of the first to do it. Will is going to do his as well, and he's integral in my story as well. So
But these are dramas. They're not docs.
no, these are big, huge movies.
So you know I have to ask.
No, I did not do it. I was not there. Question?
Okay. Question. Follow up. Who? You know this business. You know the film business back to front now. Who's the dream casting for Queen Latifah? Tell me.
I've been trying to think about that, and I don't. This is going to be big casting, because my life also is, has taken. My career is extensive now, and I've been doing this since I was 17 years old. But there was the lead up to it, so like someone has to be able to play those different parts of me.
And you've lived your life in the spotlight. Or people, we know you were successful at a young age. But is there something in a Bible? Are we going to learn more about you as a person, because you've kind of lived in front of the camera? But I guess there's a story that's not been told.
Well, the me in front of the camera is what everybody can study easily, But the me behind the camera is where the real life is anyway. Is where all the is the support to all of this. Queen Latifah outgrew me I remember being 24 years old, and I was like, Queen Latifah and Queen Latifah are not the same. The business Queen Latifah outgrew me, the Queen Latifah, by the time I was 24. So I barely made it 5 years in this business before this persona had outgrown
Right.
who I actually designed myself to be, or who I thought I was. I was like, there's no way I can live up to this Queen Latifah. She's a business. You know what I mean? She's much bigger than who I am. So I had to kind of come to grips with that. And those are things that don't have to be explained, like what happens when you lose your anonymity and how you grow up.
So does this getting made next year, 27? Where are we at?
We're writing it.
Okay.
So it's going to take a minute.
Cool.
It's going to take a minute.
And we're at a film festival, but
27 is reasonable.
27 to actually see it.
Maybe.
Okay, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We're at a film festival, but you've also got a tremendous body of TV work as well. You kind of do the big screen and the small screen. And then there was a lot of love for the Equalizer. 5 seasons is a hell of a run.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a run. When we wrote about it on Deadline, there's always a ton of comments below the line. There's a community of fans out there. Is there a world in which there's that the characters kind of live on in another way? Does that universe exist in any other form?
I would never say never when it comes to the Equalizer universe. Anything is possible, and it was a lot of fun, so it is. I think you could see some versions of that character. I put a lot of who I am into Robin McCall.
Sure.
So it's definitely possible to see more iterations of who she is, different versions maybe.
Love
but
that.
who knows? You gotta watch and see.
What does 2026 look like for you? Because to kind of bring it full circle at the beginning, there are so many. You're spinning so many plates. Which ones are you spinning in 2026?
Oh boy, 2026. Well, first of all, I got to thank everyone who supported the Equalizer, because it allowed me time for the rest of 2025 to not do anything else, to just let that rest, let everybody marinate on what's actually happening. And some new people are catching up to it. But for me, it allowed me to come back down to earth because,
Okay.
again, I put a lot into that. My family put a lot into it. I traveled a lot for it. So it just not rushing right into something else gave me the time to just come down to the ground and really enjoy life, my family, being a parent, and enjoy watching movies and listening to music and doing what it is that inspires me to do what I do. And so that's being curious about life. That's being fascinated by things. That's, you know, enjoying my hobbies and clearing out my closet and,
So kind of getting the energy level
yeah,
back up in a
exactly.
sense.
Clearing out some space for new things to come in. So, yeah, I think one of the reasons that I've probably, other than God's pure blessing, one of the reasons I've been able to do what I do for so long in so many different ways is because I stay in the moment, and I live right here and right now. I don't think too far into the future. I don't look too far back into the past because, I can't change the past, but the future's not quite here yet. And sometimes we just miss being right here in the moment. We miss the things we're supposed to see. And so right now, just having this conversation with you is making me think about what I really want to do next year. I got to remember to put that music out. I got to get that. I'm walking around with a microphone in my bag and a hard drive of songs I need to release. And there's several different film projects, but which one is going to be the one that speaks to me the most? And that story that has to go into the biopic. You just reminded me of it. And the people that I've met along the way who need some help. I want to see them tell their stories. And those aren't necessarily biopics, but they're going to be great directors and great producers and great artists and great actors, and I need to help them. So those are the things that I'm inspired by, and those are the things that I want to continue to do for 26, is to just help people out who need some help, and do fun projects that I love because I can't get the time back.
I think that's a perfect way to end the short time we had in the Deadline studio with you. But thanks so much, Queen Latifah. It's been a pleasure to have you here.
It's been great to be here.